The Monsters Playbook is an adventure podcast for grown-ups. It contains violence and profanity and deals with adult themes that may be uncomfortable for some listeners. Specific content warnings can be found in the episode's show notes. Listener discretion is advised.
There's many long, uninterrupted stretches of roadway that span all parts of the peninsula. I say largely uninterrupted because dotting the landscape, you do find some vestiges of human life that somehow manage to eke out a continued existence, even in some of the harshest, most forgotten parts of the peninsula. We open with a wide of a sheet gray sky and a wide span of empty, cracked highway in the foreground. Directly behind that is an empty gravel lot, save for two large vehicles. One, a decommissioned, faded old ambulance, and the other, a decommissioned, faded old military Humvee. Directly behind these two vehicles is a humble diner. Calling this humble might actually be upselling it a bit. It's dingy. There's a sign at the top of the diner that says clearly, "The Beckoning Hand," in scrawled text on a wooden board. And rather than having some icon to show the restaurant and demonstrate it to the cars that pass on the road in front of it, instead there's just a large plaster hand grasping for the sky directly next to this wooden board. The diner is well lit, especially compared to the darkness outside, and as our camera begins to push in, we see that it is not completely empty, but nearly so. There's only one table where we see anyone sitting, and there are 4 people seated and one standing who has just come in with a ring-ding-ding through the door into the small diner. But otherwise, it is empty. No waitstaff, no significant signs of life, no other tables that are empty or covered in dishes waiting to be cleared. But there are all of the sounds as we enter in through the window. There are all of the sounds of a busy, happening establishment. There are noises of the kitchen, banging of pots, grills sizzling, that we can hear from a large window at the very back of this initial view. And next to that, there is a sign for all to read. It says in very large, very clear, easy to read text, "For service, leave an offering for the chef. Do not approach the chef. No requests, no exceptions." We pull back from this shot in view to instead focus on the table. Seated at the table are our 4 custodians, who we're going to introduce in turn. Starting at the far side of the table, we see a young girl. Emma, would you please introduce Pearl for us and how she might be passing the time waiting here at this table, a menu in front of her?
Pearl Frogsong is a very strange little girl. She's probably somewhere between 12 and 14. She's wearing a blue-green beanie and some sort of green plasticky windbreaker. A kid's menu in front of her that's got all sorts of God's iconography on it. And there's a little package of crayons that you can use to fill them in with different colors. I think that she has taken the crayons and broken them into tiny pieces and is squishing them into the paper and moving them around.
I've got a paint the scene question for you, Emma. In this diner, in the Beckoning Hand, what notable iconography or decor stands out to you?
In the corner, there is a faux rock fountain about the height of a normal person. It's definitely just a plastic insert, but there's water flowing through some pipe, and there's a little pool of small fish at the bottom. They do not look well.
Our camera's view kind of sees over your shoulder this rocky fountain, the fish inside. We cut from like the burbling of that back to the seat bench that you sit on, Pearl, and sitting next to you, Pearl is positioned next to the window. I think sitting next to her is Gary, but he's larger, kind of sitting next to Pearl as if to keep Pearl in the row so she does not jump out and run about the restaurant.
Am I just going to be Pearl's dad?
Gonna be my dad too.
If you have to be her dad, I have to be Lauren's person.
As you introduce Gary, the paint the scene question for you, Drew, is what special is featured on the menu?
I am Gary Fletcher. He is a monk of the Pox Martyr, an older gentleman. He's wearing hiking boots and pants, a similar fisherman's cap to Pearl, but he covers himself with a hooded cloak that he'll wear just about indoors and outdoors. It's just something that he just wears all the time. Gary, honestly, would be looking at the menu. He walks a lot. He moves his body a lot, and he's always, hankering for a little snack. And he's looking on the menu, and he's seeing that the special that they have sounds delicious. A Belgian waffle breakfast sandwich. And he's thinking that Pearl probably shouldn't have that, otherwise she's going to get a sugar rush. And that would not be good after seeing what she's done to the crayons.
We kind of catch Gary looking outside the corner of his eyes down at Pearl, who has skinned these like you would a rabbit with the little cardboard paper shells that go on these crayons kind of strewn about on the table, and then these mashed up pieces of crayon flesh ground into the paper.
She's got a nice little pile, like a little layer above the paper now of wax, and she's using a fingernail to like carve sigils into it.
So, it's a normal
little girl thing.
A normal little lunchtime scene we have here. Our camera pans around to also watching this unfold in front of them are our other two custodians. We'll introduce, starting closest to the window, Lauren, would you please introduce Lune?
So Lune Ward, it appears to be in her early 20s, is a child of Mr. Howl. Mr. Howl is my take on the Mrs. Poots playbook, I guess. If you listen to her or kind of watch her for a while, you notice that she acts much younger than she actually appears. She acts quite childlike. She has black hair that is quite long, and I think she's probably got like a little headband adding to this childness appearance. A white kind of button-down shirt and a black skirt that's very long, probably goes to her ankles. And with her, and she's actually kind of put this stuffed animal of a white wolf. She's put it on the table in front of her as if to let Mr. Howl, which is the name of this wolf, join in the feast that they are hopefully about to have at this diner. She puts him down and she's like, "There you go, Mr. Howl. This will be perfect for you."
I've got a paint the scene question for you, Lauren. What quirky diner tradition do the locals maintain here?
Yeah, I think Lune kind of has observed that the locals are eating their meals in silence, which she finds quite odd. She wants very badly to make some noise and to talk to other people. And I think she whispers over to Sisna, who I think is nearby. "Why are they being quiet?"
Sisna will turn to you, shake their head. Sisna is wearing a leather coat that was handmade from the leathers of some sort of creature. They are wearing a mask of bone that's in a permanent smile, and you can see their very bright eyes behind. David, does it matter when? Because my personal ritual is braiding grass.
Yeah. Can
I do that whenever?
Oh, totally. It mechanically matters if it's happening during a journey move, which we're not doing right now, but it's something you like doing. So of course you can do it whenever you want.
Okay, yeah. I think underneath, they have started a new strand of grass and is twisting it and turning it over in very intricate patterns. But I think that rarely, I don't want to say rarely. When Sisna speaks, it's often important because you don't want to have prey or hunters hear you.
I'll also say your paint the scene question, which I haven't said yet. What rumor have you heard about the owner of this establishment?
Yeah, Sisna will lean into Lune. I've heard that the owner likes to torture children and harvest a chemical from their blood and use it in the fryers.
Do you think it's yummy?
Shrugs. Neither a yes or a no.
Gary just looks closer at the menu.
Yeah, having just entered, this is the figure we saw coming in, the door ding-a-ling-a-linging. Brittany Sivright. This is your supervisor with B.I.A.S.E.D. She's a sharp, thin woman with a slight build and straw hair. She has a smart pantsuit on and an approachable hang in there cat motivational poster tie pin. As she approaches the table, she's overheard this conversation between Sisna and Lune. And we see that she's holding in one of her hands a large rat. She's kind of holding aloft, and in the other, she's holding a small box. Well, I sure hope it's worth the price of admission, at least. And she turns around back to that large window we saw where there was the sign indicating you should leave an offering for the chef. She appears to have gone out and fetched this to come and pay and make the offering. She approaches a small altar in front of the window. She pops open the box. She places the rat squirming inside, closes the box, seals it rather nicely. It has little clips on either side. That should about cover it. We'll have actually, she goes back to the table. Did you jot down your orders?
I want the fish.
Fish, yes.
It's like she points over at the fountain.
She glances over and sees the no substitutions again on the sign.
Pearl just stares up at her with big silver eyes.
We'll talk about it. Sisna, Lune, Gary, what do you think?
I would like the children's blood.
I think that might be used in preparation of the if it's in the fryer, maybe the fries in the menu sound delightful. There's the chicken.
Oh, yes, I would
well.
like fries. Thank you.
Okay, some fries for the table. Lovely. Sisna, Gary?
Well, I'm feeling a little peckish. Why not, I'll take the special.
Oh, excellent. One special. Lovely, easy. Sisna?
I'll take the steak. Raw.
Saves time on preparation. Perfect. She turns around. You probably heard all that. Offerings right there. Just bring it out to the table. I'm already ate before we arrived. So, and she has a neat little seat at the head of the table. There's not like a proper seat here. I think she's like dragged one of the stools from the counter over to be on the end of this table arrangement where each of you are on these bench seats otherwise by the window. And as she kind of settles in, because of this seat being higher than your benches, she's kind of like a little bit elevated above your group. And she kind of looking, I think she's a fairly short woman. So she's still like not quite looking down on any of you, but she seems very happy up here on this little perch as she sits at the head of the table. Well, now that you're all sitting, your food will be out shortly. I'm sure we can enjoy that all here together. I'm so excited now that we have all four of you kind of joined together here. This is going to be our first assignment for you. I'm over the moon. Not that we can see it right now. Clouds are quite thick over here, huh? But anyway, since this is the first day and everything, I do have a bit of, housekeeping documents to read off for everyone. So get settled in, get cozy. Gary, make sure she doesn't put that in her mouth. She can't, the crayons, they're not supposed to be going in there, okay?
We look over at Pearl. She's got half of a crayon wrapper, like curled off of one side of her mouth. She slurps it in like a noodle.
Yummy.
Yeah, this is also, it's not my first day with B.I.A.S.E.D, but it is my first day with my own crew of custodians here to clean up the peninsula. I'm so excited. I'm only newly appointed as a supervisor underneath Kenneth Slaughter, but I'm so excited. Okay, let me get my documents together. And she like reaches in and she pulls out a clipboard and she pops it open, flips through some of the pages. Yes. Welcome, custodians. That's all of you. Feeling proud? You should be. By joining the Bureau of Investigation and Assimilation of Stray Deities, you're not just becoming part of the peninsula's most indispensable force against the encroachment of dangerous and illegal false gods. You're becoming part of a family. And she tears up actually a little bit as she says this. And then she reaches in, she pulls out a handkerchief, she dabs at her eyes, and then she reaches into a pocket and she hands out little candies for each of you she places on the table. What does this mean? As a custodian, you'll be making the territories of the peninsula safer for our citizens, finding compassionate solutions to the challenges posed by stray gods, and be building bridges between fringe faith communities. You'll be making a difference.
David.
Yeah.
Can you go ahead and let me know when it seems like everybody else at the table is suitably distracted?
Ominous? I'll tell you when.
Thanks.
Of course, by signing on to join our family, you'll have received special exemptions. This clears you from punishment for any crimes against the peninsula, which you might have committed in the past, or from any ongoing work contracts, which you might have been subject to. It also grants you the authority to act on behalf of the Bureau, and by proxy, the legislatures themselves. So wear that badge. Oh, almost forgot. And she reaches into one of her pockets and she pulls out a collection of, I'm imagining these are like kind of like flip book, like almost passport style badges, you know, the kind. And she hands one out to each of you. So hold that badge with pride. Please be advised. Oh, there's a, please be advised that the exemption may be revoked at the discretion of your supervisor. Oh, that's me. Or by order of the legislative board. Should your service with the Bureau be prematurely terminated, or should you choose to commit any future crimes against the peninsula? Well, we don't have to worry about that bit. As of the first day of Fathoms, that's today, Shrivel's Day, we are very pleased to announce that all newly contracted custodians will receive updated and comprehensive training in field ritual, identification of emergent sainthood, and community engagement with marginalized faiths. So there'll be some booklets I'll be passing out at the end of this. Feel free to take those home and review them at your leisure. Should you break contract or fail? Oh, we don't need to worry about that. If you have not committed any crimes against the peninsula and you have joined the Bureau as a volunteer rather than an enlisted agent, please be advised that these conditions may still appear in your written contract, but should not be acted upon save at the discretion of your supervisor or the board, etc., etc. Let's see here. The duration of your service. And as she says this, Pearl, what happens?
When she's bored enough and pretty sure that nobody is paying attention to her, she slowly slides out of the booth down to the floor and then slithers out under the table, trying to keep out from everybody's eye line. And then she goes over to the fountain.
I think you start heading over to the fountain. What are you worried is going to happen if you fail or lose your nerve here?
One of them sees me.
Yeah, I think that's a fair risk. Let's go ahead and get our first roll of the game. I think this is a funny thing to do this with.
What am I rolling with?
This is going to be the veiled move. This is going to be rolling 2d6. I think you're rolling with either vitality or focus.
I'm focusing.
Yeah, I think this is a focus time. So let's get it.
What kind of candy is this?
I'm imagining a little lemon head sort of round candies and a little slight plastic packaging.
Okay. Little Werther's Original.
Yeah, little Werther's Originals.
I have slowly and delicately twisted it open and put it in my hand, like outside of a wrapper, and just hold it over to Lune.
I will pop it in my mouth, and I'm still playing with the wrapper of my other one.
Gary's already eaten his.
That is a 7 on my focus roll.
That's a mixed success. So, Pearl, you slither out from under the table. You're fairly slight, even for your age. You've got a rather slight build. You would have completely allayed all suspicion and just made your way over to get the fish while she was having this chat, except when she looks up from the paper she's reading and notices that you are no longer sitting rapt attention at the table. Pearl? As she leans forward in her stool, you bump the bottom leg with your hip as you're slithering out from under the table, and her stool crashes forwards. She goes face first into the table. You hear her thud off of it, bouncing backwards. The stool clatters on the ground. Pearl,
I
you
am
gun
taking
for
off
it.
toward that fountain and putting as many of those fish in my mouth as I can handle in once.
And Lune is clapping at the whole thing. She's like, yay, very good, very good.
Oh, there goes Pearl again.
Yeah, I think you get maybe 3-4 fish deep with a bruise clearly forming already on her forehead. Your supervisor grabs you by the nape of your neck, lifts you up off the ground.
No, I gotta set him free!
No,
I gotta set him free!
This is a reputable establishment.
I'm being kidnapped again.
She grabs you by the neck and she brings your face fairly close to hers. So you can make eye contact. She just pulls your head around to look at her. You see for a moment the glittering of real concern in her eyes as she looks between you and the window at the back of the diner. You are a child. Do not attract attention to yourself here. Am I understood?
Daddy's gonna get you.
Well, you tell your daddy, wherever he is, that he should just come and send a letter directly to B.I.A.S.E.D, and we'll be sure to handle it post-haste. But until that day comes, I'm going to need you to sit back down at the table while I finish up this last paragraph and give you all your official uniforms.
There's this long, long moment of held eye contact. And then she just slowly smiles, revealing teeth that are too big for her mouth.
Brittany smiles back, hers a more genuine, open sort of smile, if a bit forced. She says, good. Well, I'll settle you back in. And she picks you up like one would a sack of potatoes, throwing you over her shoulder, walks back over to the table, plops you down next to Gary. Would you just put a hand on her shoulder and keep it there for the next 10 minutes?
I do like my fingers.
Thank you so much, Gary. She corrects her stool, fixes her hair. There's a little bit of blood leaking above her left eyebrow. She wipes it away, does a little lick of it, makes a face, does another lick of it, smiles a little bit, sits back in, settles on her stool. And as she's about to start on the final paragraph, a ringing of a bell by the window, and she turns around and the food that has been ordered is now sitting on the counter. Let me just run through this real quick. Once again, on behalf of the entire Western Glider Division, welcome to the team. We have full faith that your talents will be put to great work in the field. Awesome, great. Love Kenneth Slaughter. Cool. And she jots on the document. She checks off something on her list, and she goes over and she collects the dishes, brings them over on a tray to the table, sets them down for you, and says, "Well, here's the food. We got those fries that you wanted. We've got your waffle. I see you've already had your fish, Pearl. Sisna, you had the
steak."
And we hear another ding, and she turns around. It's sorry, separate order. And she goes and collects it and brings it down, sets it in front of you. Well, I hope that will be suitable. I've already made the offering. You're good to eat at your leisure. I do have, there's a duffel that she brought in earlier that's sitting next to the table, kind of lifts it up and sets it on. She's like, your new uniforms are in here. Next time I see you, you all should be wearing them. But don't worry about it too much. As long as you have your badges, that's what matters most. If you need me, you can, of course, reach me by payphone. You have my office number, or send me a letter. Otherwise, I'll be in contact as soon as you've wrapped up your first assignment. Here it is. Yeah. And she sets it down on the table. There's a pad folio that has a series of documents stuffed inside. Now, I picked this diner in particular because it's already very close to the town you're going to be heading towards. Do be careful. I have picked, something fairly simple for your first go of it. But if you have any challenges at all, well, we're a team. So work together, lean on each other's strengths. And if you need anything from B.I.A.S.E.D, feel free to file a requisition for it, and I'll see what I can do.
Gary's going to reach over into the table, grab a napkin. He's like, hey, you got some blood on your forehead there. Hand her some napkins.
Thank you. She kind of dabs at it and it's it is starting to hurt a little bit. I think I've got some painkillers in the car though. Well, don't let me stop you from eating. Have a lovely meal. Yes, Sisna, I see your hand is raised. I'm sure that'll be great in this audio podcast.
When do we get a copy of our contracts?
You'll need to file a separate. I talked about that briefly, didn't I? There's your duration of service. Just file a form. I don't have any copies with me right now, but if you send me a letter, I can respond to you in kind. Oh, there's so many hands going up. Everybody, this is going to make such good audio. Wow. As I stand here in front of these 3 hands raised, I really have to deliberate out loud who I'm going to call upon. Let's call first upon Lune.
I forgot.
All right, Sisna.
Can I get the form, please?
Yeah, if you send me a letter about it, I'd be happy to, send it back to you, and then we can correspond from there.
I'm going to take a napkin from the napkin holder and prick my finger.
Yes, Pearl.
This candy tastes bad.
Well, have you tried it a second time? And she reaches in, she pulls out another one and gives it to you.
She'll take it, bring it slowly across the table back to her, never breaking eye contact.
Speaking of sliding things across the table, Sisna slides a napkin with bloody handwriting that says, "This form for my contract, please."
Finger painting.
And she says, I'm so sorry. Sisna, you need to file, you need to provide a letter on official letterhead. I have to receive it in my office inbox. Otherwise I can't send out any official biased, material.
Can I have some official letterhead paper, please?
You can find it at a stationery store. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
You can find official biased letterhead at a stationery.
Well, it's just official letterhead. It doesn't have to be official biased letterhead. I'll respond to you with official biased. I know it's a complicated process, but we've got to adhere to the rules of the business.
Can I reach over for the napkin that Sisna wrote on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just going to grab it, shove it entirely into my mouth.
Yeah, reasonable.
And Sisna also slides their wrapper, the candy wrapper, to you.
Yep, that's going in too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, have fun in Weft. It's just up the road.
What?
Weft.
It's pronounced left.
It's, it could be. I don't know for sure. I haven't been there before.
Is that with a W or a Y?
It's with a W. W-E-F-T. Weft.
And no E at the end?
Not last I checked, but there are signs on the road. You can check for yourselves. I'm gonna head back to Glottage.
We'll find you in Blottage.
Well, you don't need to find me. Just give me a call. You have my number.
We're not the only ones who are going to find you.
Well, if you do come in person, I'll take you all out to lunch. How's that?
Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day.
If we're going to eat before the steak gets warm, we have to eat in silence.
The moment that somebody's not paying attention to her again, Pearl is going to try to slide toward the fountain.
Gary, did you actually put a hand on Pearl's shoulder or not?
No, because I didn't want to lose my fingers.
Cool.
Reasonable. Then yeah, we'll say that Brittany does kind of like smile. She'll pat the badges again on the table, give a little wave, and walks out the door. You once again hear a ring and ding as she heads towards her car, which is the old military vehicle. She hops in. We hear the tires crunch on the gravel. And then she pulls away onto the roadway and heads the opposite direction from Weft. She heads back down the peninsula towards Glottage. But you all head deeper in.
Pearl, you heard the rumor. I shared, right?
She has like half of a fish tail out of her mouth. Huh? Yeah? Why?
The owner harvests children.
What's that got to do with me?
If I remember correctly, aren't you a child?
She looks over at Gary for confirmation.
Well, I'd say you're a kiddo.
I wouldn't want the owner to get a hand on your blood. Join us at the table, please.
She looks down. Have I managed to, eat most of the fish?
Oh, I mean, you've got him.
Once the fountain's empty, I'm happy to go back.
She seemed very, fake nice.
Well, I suppose it's that corporate mentality, eh? They're not the usual kind of people. Their people skills are, not very real.
Like plastic.
You could say they're plastic humans.
That's too bad. Plastic isn't very tasty.
Oh, yeah? Is plastic tastier than fish?
No. Well, depends on the fish. Some of the fish are almost totally plastic these days.
Oh, yeah.
Plastic fish.
Gary's gonna just start eating a sandwich.
So should we have maybe this is me thinking about this now. Should we have maybe asked any questions to do?
She dropped a portfolio for you.
She gave us the assignment, so we'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Gary, as he's eating his sandwich, he's going to slide the booklet or paper or whatever she gave us and look at that while he eats.
It's a little leather pad folio. You crack it open and inside there are a series of documents. This is the Dusk Mother assignment. The Custodians are informed of a series of disturbances near the rural town of Weft, located just on the border of the Clutching Woods.
Would you say left of the border?
You could, on Weft, located just left of the border of the Clutching Woods. Reports of strange attacks on livestock and damage to power lines and vehicles have been documented. Hopworth Industries, a nearby meat packing plant, claims that some kind of large predator has been raiding their compound at night. Law enforcement records show evidence of a stray angel making its haunt on the grounds of Skelton Ranch. though no conclusive action was taken and local residents have not been forthcoming with previous investigators. The skeleton family, thought to have abandoned production on their farm years ago, is rumored to harbor an angel which has caused trouble for other residents in the past. According to locals, the skeleton family simply refer to the entity as Mother. It is unclear what their relationship is with the angel, but it has been known to haunt the woods around their property for several generations as part of some pact. Attempts to reach the skeletons directly were unsuccessful, so the custodians have been directed to contain or eliminate the angel before its territory encroaches on any nearby counties. And then I've got a question to give to one of you of my choice. Yeah, I'm going to give this to Sisna. You have heard of family gods and angels before, and how their influence keeps its hold over generations. What rumors of the skeleton family makes you suspect that this angel has dug its claws in too deep?
It is rumored that the family is selling off all of their material goods.
Ooh.
In addition to all the details that we just discussed as part of the summary for the Dusk Mother, there are also a handful of details on some relevant locations that might be of interest to the custodians. There is Hopworth Industries processing plant, who are reporting the meat processing plant near Weft, just outside of Weft, that's been reporting sightings of something stealing their cattle. There is the town of Weft itself. It's got like a main street and stuff. There's the Clutching Woods, which border this whole area. There's an abandoned lumber mill off in the woods. There's Skeleton Ranch, and that's it for now.
I kind of feel like, since we're not entirely sure what's going on with the skeleton family, I almost feel like they're worth talking to last or close to last, because we might not want to
tip our hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To the town of Weft.
I mean, that seems like a good place to start.
Talk to some of the locals, learn some more.
We should definitely not be in uniform, I feel like.
I am wearing that uniform.
What does the uniform even look like?
Yeah, so what did she all give us? She gave us uniform, badges.
And then the folio with the information. Dave, is that all she gave us?
Oh yeah, she just gave you the bundle of information, she gave you your badges, and then she gave you a duffel bag with your uniforms that she would like to see you wearing next time she talked with you, but they are very optional. How are these uniforms cartoonishly bad?
Are they jumpsuits?
It could be.
That was my initial thought, was a jumpsuit.
Coveralls.
We're supposed to be custodians,
I
right?
want bright colors, like bright yellow.
Yeah, high vis, for sure.
I think they probably stink.
These have not been cleaned since they were
No.
taken off the dead bodies of the last custodians.
And to begin with, they were made of like polyester or something.
One of the accessories is a newsy hat.
Oh. Is it also bright yellow?
It's bright yellow, but like plaid bright yellow.
Love that. Hate it. Love it. It's like a bright orange and bright yellow plaid.
Yeah.
And then there's like this really, really gross brown kind of interlocked
Oh
with
my gosh,
it.
what if, I know I just contributed with the hat, but what if we had one of those like light up batons that almost like crossing guards had?
Yes.
That's our designated weapon.
Right. Now I've got a secondary one for you guys. I described the beanie and the windbreaker, but like B.I.A.S.E.D definitely like dressed Pearl. So we need to figure out what it is that they put this poor little girl in order to make her like presentable to the world. She's got like fake teeth.
So you're talking about as like part of her kind of regular outfit or a uniform?
Yeah, as a regular outfit. So she's got like this terrible polyester windbreaker.
They gave her an alternate pair of shoes, a soft pink that kind of like were designed as like bunnies.
Yeah.
But then also the heel or the bottom of the sneaker lights up when she walks.
And they're Velcro.
Okay.
Oh yeah. The loudest Velcro
Extremely
ever.
loud Velcro. I mean, I feel like she would love the lights, but she would burn them out very quickly by just having the shoes in her hand and tapping them together. And then some like ungodly bright, like bright orange cargo pant, but they're like, they're capris.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.
So, what's the plan, custodians? Are we all going to go together somewhere? Are we going to split up and canvass some of the areas? What's the approach? What's the plan?
Oh, I think we should all head over to the town of Weft just to kind of get our bearings. We haven't really been to this place before.
I would really like to check out the processing plant.
Me too.
You want to do that After the town, or
Well, it's located by Weft.
Mm-hmm. So do you want to do that after? Notice how, Miah, there are separate locations.
I'm just expressing interest in the plant.
Okay. Thanks.
To Weft.
I think we should mosey on.
How do you mosey? We've got a old ambulance that you could, I suppose, all pile into, or it's not too long on foot, maybe half an hour's journey.
Oh boy.
We're obviously taking the ambulance,
Yeah.
right? Like,
I have only one other seat.
that's fine. I can just hang out in the back.
Lapsies?
So, you'll have to hang on.
What about the back?
The back has no seats.
Oh, I could stand.
No, you sit. Lune and I will be in the back.
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be quite a party back there.
It's going to be fun.
All right, well, you kids have fun back there.
As we're like heading out, was there like a place like that where it had that message that was like leave an offering or whatever? Was there a place to like put stuff?
Yeah, so basically there's like a large window at the back that like looks into the kitchens. It's not like a clean look. There's like all the different tags for the different meals that have been asked for over time, all the old receipts. Instead of going on like a little pile, they're kind of blocking your vision into the kitchen itself. There is like a door that goes into the kitchen, but where there's directly in front of that window, there's a altar. That was where the box with the, at the time, living rat was placed earlier. Although I think if you were to look back there now, the box would be gone.
As we were like heading out to the ambulance, Lune is gonna like kind of skip over to the altar, and she's gonna put the unopened piece of candy that she has, and she's gonna put it on the altar. There you go. Just kind of pat it and then skip back outside.
I think Pearl will leave on the offering the kids' menu that she was squishing the crayons into. In the wax that she's carved is like whatever the symbol for the Trawler man is.
You leave these on the altar for the chef, and then return to your ambulance to go on down to Weft. So Sisna, you're driving, and then Gary, you're sitting next to them. That right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Lune and Pearl, you're in the back.
Yep.
Well, just like as you're driving along towards Weft, it's if it's half an hour on foot, it's probably only 5 or 10 minutes on the road. Not very far at all, especially once you get up to speed. Oh, actually, question for Sisna: are you the sort of driver who believes in speed limits?
Being like sort of a hunter, I don't think that they would be reckless and go fast.
To give you some Weft vibes as you're driving along, I think you're going at almost a snail's pace on this old cracked highway. Just a couple of minutes after you've left the diner, you hear behind you the rumbling of a proper old truck engine. That sort of throaty, like it's this. The cylinders are not firing properly. There's a billowing cloud of smoke behind it as it's burning so much oil, this poor engine. But it's still going faster than you. It's like riding your bumper for a few seconds, and then it like kind of careens to the side and then goes to pull around you. You catch a glimpse just briefly. Both the driver and the passenger like look into your vehicle to see who was driving so slowly out here. You see that they're both wearing sunglasses despite the fact that it is like incredibly dark out right now. It's not like night, but it is daytime and it is still quite dark. The clouds are only thicker as you get closer and closer to Weft, and they like mug you from their truck as they pull around in front of you and then pull ahead. You can see on the back of their truck almost like a handmade bumper sticker sort of situation that has like a cartoonish picture of a garden gnome holding a sign that says "Adjudicate this," and then a little shattered porcupine flag blowing in the wind, tattered, as they pull in front of you and continue driving up ahead, billowing smoke just directly in your mirrors and your dash. I think some of it's even coming in through your vents, because I don't imagine that Sisna has like replaced the filter any time recently.
No.
How well maintained is this ambulance?
Probably like bare minimum. The back has been roughly cleared out of any medical actual ambulance needs. There's no gurney.
Built in the zappy thing that you put against
the defibrillator?
The defibrillator. That's the word.
No, that's not there. I would say like all of the like cabinetry and like storage stuff is still there.
Yeah.
There is the length of the side. I'm gonna get in so much trouble with this. I know. When I thought of it, I was like, oh fuck. But so it's the length of the ambulance. It's a deep freeze, and it is locked with a key padlock.
So Lune and Pearl have a little less space in the back than you would imagine. Before we pan back to them, though, I do want to, with Sisna and Gary, radio works. Is that something that Sisna uses? Is that something that Gary uses? Are we listening to some mad tunes as we pipe on down to Weft, listening to the radio, or what's going on?
Gary will listen to the radio, but it's not his car.
It's typically always off, windows down, except for a like teeny tiny braiding hanging on the rearview mirror.
Does this ambulance have a CD or a cassette player?
Does the ambulance have a cassette player?
Look, ambulance drivers are drivers.
No, I love it, is the thing.
If you try the music drive or the radio, you can try. I have zero idea if it actually works.
I think it's fun if it does.
But Sisna has never, ever used it or touched it.
Good, that means that it's set to whatever they listened to before Sisna used it.
The only music or noise that they need is the sound of nature.
Yeah, Gary, do you play around with the cassette player, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna play around with the cassette player. Hey, you mind if I crank on some tunes?
Just continuing to drive face on the road.
I take that as a yes. So, trying to decide if I want to just hit play or if I want to think that maybe Gary has a cassette tape for whatever reason.
I love the idea that Gary carries around his own mixtape.
Yeah, I think Gary's going to have a mixtape. He doesn't have a whole lot of physical goods that he carries around with him, but he does have one cassette tape or CD, whichever is fine, whichever we prefer to do for this.
What kind of recording is it? Is it music? You said some tunes, so that makes me think that it's music.
Yeah, it's music.
Make up a band for me. What's the main track that pops on? You plug in your mixtape.
The vibes, I'm kind of thinking like Jim Croce kind of vibes.
Hell yeah.
Let's say it's the artist is Bob Engelston.
Good old Bob Engelston.
Jot down your Bob Engelston cassette in your notes at the very least.
Can the name of the song be Spiders on Fire?
That sounds like an Engelston number. We hear the crooning voice of Engelston pop on. I do think these speakers have seen better days.
I was gonna say, the speakers in the front, they're okay. The speakers in the back, not good.
Yeah.
Water or something blood maybe got into them, and this just bad.
Gary begins to rock out or whatever it's like to be passenger seat as Sisna drives down the road. We pan to the back. Lune and Pearl, Miah and Lauren, our music cuts from, this dated speaker system version to one that is groaning and sagging under the weight of time in the back. And we can only barely hear it. It's like a record from the 30s, if you compare that to one even from the 70s, the level of quality difference, the level of loss is huge. So that kind of version is now playing over the speakers as we pan to the back. Pearl, Lune, what's going on back here?
Pearl is gonna look at Lune and look at her little dog, her little wolf plushie. I like your friend. Do you want to meet my friend?
Yes, I would. And for the record, because you cannot see what I'm doing right now, listeners, Lune has been interpretive dancing to the badly garbled music that is going. And then when Pearl says, "Would you like to meet my friend?" I say, "Oh, yes, very much."
Pearl takes off her shark fin backpack and unzips it and pulls out her altar, which is a mason jar that's full of river water and all the things that live in river water. And she unscrews it and she reaches in, and it takes a second, and she goes, "Oh, there he is." And, she kind of shakes it around, it splashes a little bit, and then slowly she pulls out her hand, and now attached to her hand, it's about a 2-meter long catfish.
Oh no. Hi.
His name's Bird.
Hello, Bird. Oh my God,
You can pet him.
Okay. Lune starts to pet the fish and her hand gets all slimy.
When Pearl says you can pet him, I do want to be clear. This is a 2-meter long catfish. These things are like fish, especially like of this size, are like all muscle
Ginormous.
Especially bird is like wriggling like Dixie, you know, like just water is going everywhere.
He's wriggling.
They are larger than the average man if they're at 2 meters.
Yeah, no, this is humongous and powerful. This is like
6 foot 4 inch fish. Pearl strong. That's all I gotta say.
And for the record, we definitely have some reality morphing things happening here because this jar is not big enough
like
for
Mary
a
Poppins
2 meter long
big.
catfish to be pulled out from it. But it's happening.
Oh my gosh, I love him.
So we see like wriggling fish on Pearl's hand, its mouth up to just past her wrist. Lune's petting the side of it. We've got this crooning, groaning almost on the speakers in the back.
It's almost like we're underwater.
Oh.
And then we see Weft start to pull into view. It has a main street full of potholes and weeds, storefronts with cracked windows and faded signs, abandoned cars with flat tires, a rusty bike chained to a tilting signpost, distant sounds of a sputtering generator, hammering, and a lone dog barking. I have a paint the scene question for us as our ambulance starts to pull down Main Street. By all appearances, this town is dying out. How can you tell that some residents still care for it fiercely?
There are weeds around the front, but there are also freshly planted seasonal flowers. The hedges have actually been pretty well trimmed and taken care of around the storefronts that are open.
You said that the streets are full of potholes and weeds, but the traffic lines are pristine.
I was thinking the same thing. Damn it, Miah.
It's like you guys are best friends or something.
If it makes you feel any better, Emma took my idea.
What the fuck? Now I have to steal Drew's.
Yeah, Drew, what are you thinking?
No reason, not asking for any particular reason.
Yeah, Lauren, what's Drew thinking?
I don't know, man. I'm thinking that there's like a welcome to Weft sign. It is quite faded and stuff, but the letters have been recently painted over or something to try to like make the sign a little bit more welcoming.
I want to play off of that. And the welcome sign has a second addition to it with a little chain with a second part. It says, "Don't turn white."
WIGHT.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, your ambulance pulls into town. You can see there are some faces peering out from various shop fronts. There are some people walking along the side of the road itself, along these cracked pavements and stepping over potholes, that sort of thing. And I think that truck that you saw earlier wind around you with the people wearing sunglasses has pulled in. There's like a street parking next to a shack or something towards the center of town, where they're selling some kind of food of the day. Selling what kind of food do they have on sale here? What do we think? There's a meat packing plant outside on the edge of town, so probably something meaty.
Meat pies.
Meat pie. Ooh,
and jerky.
Yeah, fresh meat pies and jerky.
Come on down to Weft. Get your meat pies and jerky.
Meat pies and jerky.
The little sticks of honey.
Oh, love that.
Fresh from the woods, collected. Yeah, and we can see those two folks with sunglasses are standing there getting some meat pies or something. What do we want to do here in town? We could try to talk to some locals. We could run our way around some of these businesses. What are we thinking?
I want to pull into the town's gas station.
So you pull into the gas station, Sisna. Your ambulance comes to a quick stop, I would say. Are you pulling in to fuel up, or are you pulling in front of the building?
A pull in to fuel up.
These absolutely are not pay at the pump. You'll have to pay inside. When you hop out, that's a quick question, Sisna. You're always wearing your bone mask, right? Okay. You look a little bit ominous, right? We can agree that that's the look that Sisna has.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Get that. Sisna, you hop out. Are you the one headed inside to pay for some gas? Pay for some petrol?
No, I'm going to regret this. I'm going to open the back doors and let the girls out.
Good. Excellent. First thing Pearl's going to do is sniff for water.
You sniff the air. Is the intention here, Pearl, that if you find water, you're just going to head that way right away? Is that the vibe?
Yeah.
Give me a veiled move. Why not? What are you worried is going to happen if you don't sniff out some water right now?
I'm going to get itchy. It's been a while since I've submerged.
Yeah, fair enough. This is with vitality, by the way. You're using your nose.
Okay. That is, do I have anything to vitality? I think I do, right?
I think a 0.
A 0? Yeah, that's an 8.
This is an easy mixed success. I'm going to give you the condition alone, Pearl. You sniff the air. You can smell that the forest around here, this clutching forest, is very boggy. There's definitely sources of water back over there. They're going to be brackish. You can already smell it on the air. You can smell the mycology at work.
That's good enough for me.
I'm going to give you the condition alone because I think you just book it.
I mean, yeah. I'm walking. I'm not walking like, I'm not running, but I'm not stopping.
Well, here's what I'll say, Pearl. You're the one who did something that had some stakes here. So I think you go for it.
Okay, yep.
You're off to the races.
I give one look back to Lune, which you could interpret as a come with me. You could interpret as cover for me. You could interpret as see you later. And then I take off.
Pearl's gone.
Do I see her take off?
Look, she leaves a trail of wet feet behind her.
See, now I'm imagining like feet. There are wet feet.
No.
Just
There's
like
wet footprints. Wet footprints on the cracked asphalt.
Pearl just wears like flippers to go swimming.
Somehow Pearl is always wet.
Well, you did just pull a catfish out of a jar in the back of this. Like, I'm assuming you got some water on the ground, and I'm assuming you stepped in it.
For sure.
So yeah, Pearl's run off. Sisna, do you head inside? Gary, Lune, what are you up to?
Is this like you have to go in to pay in order to use the pump, or can I like use the pump, go inside and pay?
No, you have to go in, pay, say how much you want on it, and then they set it up for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go inside.
So you're heading inside. Gary, Lune, I want to get everybody's positions, and then we'll start pitching some scenes.
Lauren, are you following her or are you staying?
Yeah, I can't decide what I think is funnier. I think Lune sees Pearl run off and she will kind of do like a sideways glance and then runs after to join Pearl.
I think he's going to eventually walk around as he's left or stepped out of the ambulance. He's going to look. He's going to see the footprints. He's going to see Lune running off, and he's just going to let out a little bit of a sigh. Oh, and I think he's going to go inside the gas station with Sisna because he's thinking, Lune and Pearl, they can handle themselves.
Yeah, when we see you head inside, parked on the opposite side of the same pump as you, there is a motorcycle that I can only describe as being kept alive purely by miracles. Like this thing looks, of the various machines we've described today in varying states of repair, this one I want to stress looks the worst. But it is parked here, seems to be waiting for some petrol. You kind of maybe give it a glance as you head inside. And then, Sisna, you're already inside. Gary joins you very soon after you enter. You can see at the front, there are two people currently inside of this gas station. There's a man behind the counter who has just finished filing something away in the register, closing it. He's got watchful eyes. He's wearing a camo jacket and some overalls. He has a gray ponytail. Immediately when you walk in this, each of you would have noticed this when you enter. Even though he's in conversation with this woman in front of him, he glances and seems to size you up each time. You can see on the wall behind him there are several pointy weapons. There's like a pitchfork. There's like a little like machete like you might use to clear some brush. And then below that there's like a double barrel shotgun and then like a rifle leaning up against another wall. And there's like a crossbow sitting on one of the counters. It's that sort of place. The woman he's speaking with, she has windswept gray hair. She's wearing a white scarf and some black riding leathers. This is clearly her motorcycle outside. She has travel bags that prominently feature the Poxmartyr's crest. And you can see from the marks along her neck and her cheeks and along her arms that she has lived a life in this passion, in this commitment for a very long time. She has many healed over wounds and scars along her body that are clear signs that she's been in this lifestyle for quite some time. Gary, what's the name of the parish where you first learned the ways of a Poxmartyr up in Ursalia? We don't need any details particularly yet, but a name would be good.
Let's do Hetna.
Hetna Parish in Ursalia. You recognize her by her wispy hair immediately. This is Sister Quarrel. She's a traveling pox monk. And I think she's also from Ursalia. That's a fun thing for us to do here.
Yeah.
You overhear just the end of her conversation with the owner of this place. She thanks them after they hand her, why not, a pack of cigarettes and her change. Thanks there, Ridley. And she turns around and almost shock. Oh, welcome in. Oh, hey, Gary? No way. What are you doing down here, Ozer?
Is that you, Sister Coral?
Oh, in the flesh, what's left of it.
Oh, fancy seeing another Ursalian here, eh?
Oh, yeah, what are the odds?
Oh, last time I saw you was up at the Hetna Parish, eh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I haven't been back to Hetna in, at least 5 years now.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember how long it's been for me. What brings you here?
Oh, even out here, there are poor souls in need of assistance, waiting for me to come away and take away the sickness.
Yeah, you and me both, bud.
Yeah, you here for Martyr work? I thought you'd been getting out of it.
Oh, I'm traveling around. I'm just stopping through with some other folks. This right here is Sisna.
Oh, Sister Coral also looks Sisna up and down, sizes them up a little bit. Well, a friend of yours is a friend of mine.
I'm just staring at them.
Happy to see her. I'm just heading deeper into town. There's a fella I was going to be helping out with, broke his arm last week, lifting up one of the cranes there. They had to reaffix it on the old meat packing plant. There's been all sorts of chaos afoot here in town, it sounds like.
Goodness. Well, I appreciate you helping out the others. If I make my way that way, maybe I could, get back to the old ways and lend a little bit of assistance.
Oh, well, 4 arms are better than 2 and all that.
Oh, don't I know.
Let me ask, Gary, you're welcome to try to kind of probe Sister Coral for some information around stuff in town or what she's heard of. Clearly, she's responding to something related to maybe some of the incidents that you read about in your briefing. If you want to kind of ask her some more questions about that, we could do a information move roll with presence, I believe is what it's also called in this game. I can read off the information move. This will be our first time using it. When you search for a clue, conduct research, or otherwise gather information, describe how you're doing so and roll with an appropriate ability. We've already kind of talked through what you did. So on a 10 plus, you'll get a clue. On a 7 to 9, you'll still get a clue, but there is a complication, or I'll give you a condition. And then on a 6 or below, I get to make a move. And a 12 plus, you also get a conspiracy clue.
So I got a 9.
Mixed success, so you will still get a clue.
Could he technically read a verse?
Yep, you can always read a verse in order to boost. I will say the thing here is I'll probably just... Oh, you know what? I'll give you the condition. Sister Coral has work for you. She'll rope you into some stuff in town. You won't have as much freedom to act maybe as much as you'd like. If that seems like a fine condition to you, then we can move forward with it. If you want to write a verse, you can always write a verse.
No, that sounds fine.
Okay, so then add to your conditions, Sister Coral has work for you.
Okay, see, I was not expecting conditions to be that as well. I think when I thought of conditions was like stuff that I have taken from people or things that have happened to me.
It can be anything physical, mental, or just literally like a general status effect of something that's happening around you.
Conditions are extremely broad.
Perfect.
And then they can be like literally like broken arm. If Sister Coral goes and heals this person, she will now have a broken arm, right? But yeah, so what do you ask her about? How do you guide the conversation to kind of what's been going on?
So, Sister Coral, have you been doing any other work around here? What brought you over here besides that crane work?
She leans in closer and she's like, well, I'm sure you've heard of. They've been having some damage to some animals in part of the town. If you came through it all, I imagine you've heard that there's been something flying about, terrorizing some of the people and the animals around here. I've mostly been dealing with the aftermath of that, not so much with whatever the creature or angel or saint is doing, of course, but rather what the people have been trying to do. I think I imagine in response to it, there's been some traps which people have made that have been a danger or impediment to some of the vehicles and people. When you got big jaws meant for some critter that it'll work just as well on a human femur, you know.
Don't even get me started on those femur injuries. Those will get you.
Yeah, it sure makes it hard to ride the old motorcycle, I tell you that. So the clue that you get are that there have been crudely made traps attempting to damage or impede people and vehicles. Yeah, so this bloke I'm going to see now, he fell while he was trying to fix this crane that got knocked over, but this one just yesterday, and she like pulls up the calf of her leathers on her leg, and you can see that there's a gash maybe 4 inches long, centimeter or so deep. It's been since sewn up, but it's still very red and angry the way that some of these fresh wounds can be. And she pulls it up and shows it to you, and she said, yeah, I took that one on just last night. They were walking along, somebody had set up a snare for him, and they got pulled up into a tree, and a tree just gouged the hell right out of their calf.
That's a bit of a doozy. Hey.
Well, it's not the sweetest walking, I'll tell you, but I'm making do. I can still work the clutch.
Well, if you got the clutch, you're good to go. You're smooth sailing.
I guess I should have said the shifter, but it's fine. It's fine. Part of the same system.
Shifter, clutch, what does it matter?
You pull one, flick the other. Gary and Sister Quarrel are off in conversation now.
It's gonna be a long conversation.
It's been a long conversation. We're just shooting the shit.
Because they're Canadian.
It's the way. Well, how could we talk about the weather? It's downright miserable outside.
Oh, they say it's the humidity that gets you.
They say it's the humidity, but I can't even see the sun. I've been here for 2 weeks. I haven't seen the sun at all.
2 weeks, no sun. That's a bunch of hullabaloo.
You'd think I was still living up at Hedna.
Oh, those days on Hetna. Ooh, relaxing.
Anyway.
My point exactly.
So Sisna, Sister Quarrel referred to this person as Ridley. I think maybe you catch a glimpse. There's like an occupancy limit or something from the county that they're registered in that has their name on it. You see their name is Ridley Hemsworth. They appear to run this place. Are you here to buy petrol?
Sisna, as they approach the counter, puts down a package of Swedish fish, as well as Dubai chocolate.
It is so funny to me. We name dropped Belgian waffles. Now we're dropping Swedish fish. I do want to emphasize this setting has earmarks of ours, but like none of the names are the same. There is no Sweden. There is no Belgium.
Belgium's not for a country. It's a style of waffle.
I suppose you're right. You're right. And these Swish are called Swedish because that was the last name of the person who discovered them.
No, it's because they are not quite sweet, but they're sweetish.
Mm-hmm.
Swedish fish.
Yeah. Sisna puts down Swedish fish, as well as Dubai chocolate, aka Dubai chocolate.
Double jam waffles.
I love the idea that they have Dubai chocolate in this rural gas station.
Man, Ridley's
is
everywhere. Stocked out here. It's crazy.
Yeah, I put those on the counter.
Where'd you get those?
Point to a shelf. Just international chocolate and candy shelf.
A whole shelf.
Forgot we got that shipment.
$10 on 3.
We only have the 2. Oh, yeah, that 2's looking a little long in the tooth, huh? Yeah, all right. 10. It goes over and pops the register open, takes your bill, throws it in there. And for the sweets?
Pushes them forward.
All right. They cost money, currency, coin if you got them.
I'll put down a bill.
Is it a big enough bill?
This is the weirdest standoff.
or should I say, Miah, I believe you've been to a gas station before. This doesn't have to be.
What is social interaction?
You've purchased candy before at a place, right?
Yeah.
I was tempted to just be like, they put down a rabbit's foot. No.
That would be honestly mood.
Sisna will take out a pouch, and they're rifling through it, and there's some dried flowers, a fish head, a little animal skull, but then they find some coins and scatter those onto the counter. Enough.
Oh, he kind of counts it up quickly, very dexterous. Thing is just like flicks the coin, flip, makes a little neat pile of them. Oh yeah, that'll do. I noticed your pouch there. You much of a hunter? And as he says that, like you see like that twinkle of interest in Ridley's eye. You know how somebody will get this look about them, will get this eagerness in their voice that happens when they think that you might be the same kind of person as them, you know, or you might also have the same niche interest.
You do know I'm married to John Wander.
I do. I asked you this question rhetorically for the sake of our audience.
Yes, I do know that excitement.
Yeah, Ridley peaks up, like it sort of perks up a little bit.
I nod.
What kind of game do you go for? I haven't seen a deer out here in months, but I still trek about the woods, do what I can.
Anything?
Anything. Well, there's nothing much around here, but if you do find anything, feel free to bring it around here. I know some folks in town who are good at butchering. We, of course, got the plant out on the fringes, but I prefer to have my stuff done by hand than by machine.
I'll nod in agreement that just giving the vibe of the old ways are the best ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ridley seems to respect the fact that you're, slow to speak, easy to talk to, that sort of thing. He seems totally nonplussed by your bone mask and just general creepy vibes.
I want to ask him something about the angel or something.
As Miah is thinking, I'll just quickly narrate over Sisna's shoulder. We can see Gary and Sister Quarrel just shooting the shit.
Still going.
They've moved on to whatever they play in Ursalia that's like hockey.
Or the biggest fish they last caught. Oh, well, I caught a perch the other day and it was about this big. And but I almost lost my line.
Don't even get me started on that bait. Oh, that was stinky. But, we pulled through when we got a 6-pounder. That thing, it wriggled.
I honestly think that Sisna might glance and look over at Gary and his conversation. And then almost remembering, looks back to Ridley with a sort of shrug. Weather.
This could be a thing. Do you want to make that a information move? Do you want your prodding of him for more information about town to be
weather?
No. I'm just normal people talk about the weather. So this gas man would probably enjoy talking about the weather.
Yeah, you say weather, and he kind of glances outside and, yep.
He's no Ursalian. He doesn't give two shits.
Finishes counting the coins, chucks them in the register, and, well, you got your candy there. See your car's parked out there. You feel free to fuel up, see how far that $10 gets you.
This weather's mostly bad for ranching.
He nods. Well, not terrible, but the grass doesn't grow like it used to, I figure. I imagine that's impacted some of them, although it ain't really the weather that's keeping folks' spirits down.
Lots of ranching in town?
Not so much in town. Generally happens outside of it, but nearby, near enough. Something's got to keep those meat hoppers fed at the plant.
How do I broach this subject without being weird, although I'm already being weird?
I worry that it's already happened.
I do think that we're already in that territory, yes.
I think it started with weather.
In Ridley's description comes across as aloof, but is the embodiment of live and let live. And if he was not explicitly such a chill fucking dude.
It'd be so alarming. Sisna is going to take out the booklet-y thing that has their B.I.A.S.E.D badge and put it on the table and slide it to him. Looking for some information.
Ridley does stand up a little straighter. His mouth draws across in kind of a long, thin line. Oh, you're here on business.
And some pleasure.
Oh, but the pleasure always comes after, don't it?
Sometimes at the same time.
Yeah, give me a information move. I think it's time. Give me one with presence. You're clearly talking your way into this.
That's a 4.
You want to write a verse about it?
Yeah, I do. What's the difference between prophecy or history, or can I choose either?
You can choose either, but prophecy will be in order. History can be any of them. These are very similar to your Crowns of the Queen and Crowns of the Void and Brindlewood Bay. The difference, though, is that they both require little narrations. But your verses of history are of mostly your past, and verses of prophecy are kind of your track towards ultimate breaking or reconciliation with your god and all sorts of other related stuff from your faith sheet. The retirement of your character happens at the end of your Verses of Prophecy.
I think I am going to go with the very first Verses of Prophecy. So the Whispered Psalm narrate a flashback to the first time you took a life and felt invigorated by the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah, do you want to do that now, or do you want to wait and narrate that a little later?
I'm going to wait a little bit to narrate it. I know what it's going to be, but I think that it happens when they are pumping gas.
Okay, I like that. So then first, while you're still here asking questions, this bumps you up to a mixed success. So you will get a clue, but there will be a complication or cost. I think the complication here is easy. You will get a condition to be tracked with this. A change comes over Ridley after you make it clear you're here with B.I.A.S.E.D. The ideas I want to capture are you're here on business and the town knows. I guess I'll say Weft doesn't care for your business. That's the condition I'll give you. But you do get a clue as part of this. You flash your badge. We were talking about the weather and kind of like what people were fearing these days. Did you ask anything in specific?
I think you just said I'm looking for some information.
Ooh, I can ask a question.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm hunting an angel.
And he nods slowly, and he leans in a little closer to you. You talking about the skeletons?
Nods.
Yeah, there's a rumor. No one's gone out to them to confirm it, but it's been like this for quite some time here in Weft. Skeleton family, a couple generations back, they took to hunting the deep woods once their crops started failing. What with the sky's been like this for years now. And well, something seems to have followed them home, if you know what I mean.
I will nod and place a rabbit's foot on the counter before walking away.
You place the rabbit foot down, and when you do, right as your hand lets go, he reaches out, and with a hand like a vice, he grabs hold of your wrist. And he looks at you meaningfully, and he says, "You be careful out there. You're poking your nose in where the government has no place."
The beast watches me.
Well, there's bodies in these woods, don't make them one of yours.
I feel like Sisna is excited. There's bodies in the woods. Fuck yeah.
Excited. I'm so fucking happy.
He lets your wrist go. You proceed to leave to go fill up the car. And meanwhile, Gary, where's the conversation drifted to now?
I think we're in about round 5 of Midwest Goodbye.
Oh yeah. Well, if you're gonna be here for a while anyway, you ought to come with me down to the plant where I'm gonna be treating this fella. There might be other injuries that have happened up in between. I can only take on so much at once, of course, but I'll push myself and make it happen. But if with another one of your caliber here, we could really help these people out.
Let me chat with my friend over here, and you know what? I think I'll mosey on over with you.
Yeah. You want to ride double on the cycle with me, or are you going to hop in the old ambulance out there?
Let me see what Sisna's up to, and then I'll let you know. Just can you give me a few?
Oh yeah. Look, I'm going to pump 3 or 4 gallons into this old girl, but I tell you, at least 2 of them are going to drain right out the bottom. So it'll take a few tries.
Oh, if she works, she works.
She'll be right. She heads out to go and try to fuel up hers. Sisna, I think, is also headed that way. Gary, I'm assuming you follow after. We'll sort of pull out from this shot to pick up with Pearl and Lune. Although we'll pick up with Pearl first, because Pearl, you are still alone. You very quickly, with your wet feet, leave the town behind you. You feel the slapping of pavement, and then asphalt, and then pavement, and then grass, and then finally, blissfully, mud. Yep. As you get closer and then finally deeper into the forest. I got a question, a paint the scene question for everyone here. The Clutching Woods. The Clutching Woods are narrowing tunnels of sickly briars and fallen branches, buckling footbridges dragged down by strangling roots, patches of oil-slick bog skewered by sun-starved trees. Our paint the scene question for the Clutching Woods. The land here is horribly polluted, but not truly dead. what menacing features make you most concerned for your safety, or for Pearl's safety and soon to be Lune's?
There are screaming animals.
Okay.
Screaming animals. They don't make noises. They scream. They don't cry. They scream.
I think like the closer that you maybe get to like some sort of water formation, the riverbed or whatever it might be is just like chock full of like bones of like fish.
Mm-hmm. The chitin of various crabs and lobsters and such.
Yeah.
Awesome. What else? What makes you concerned for your safety here?
Some markings on some trees.
Oh, love that.
When you say markings, are we talking like deep scratches or prayer marks or what?
Painted symbols and effigies.
There's like a lot of mushrooms. Like a lot. Like a truly, the air is a little bit, it's wet and thick, but it's also like, it seems like a mist until you move through it and
Like
realize that it's
spores.
more like spores.
Mhm.
That's so good for me and you don't even know.
I think that for the first bit as Pearl walks in, she is like quiet and observing her surroundings. But weirdly, as the forest gets a little darker and she goes deeper in and finds the mud and everything, she actually seems to get more confident, standing up a little taller, and then she starts stripping. You already talked about her feeling the grass and then the mud under her feet. That's because she took off her shoes, maybe in the ambulance. Maybe she got out of the...
Oh, I think, you were barefoot by the time you hopped out.
Next to go are the cargo shorts. After that is like everything except for the backpack she keeps on. If there is any running water, she will go towards that. Otherwise, she'll get in the polluted water.
It's pretty stagnant here. I don't imagine there's much running.
That's fine.
Pearl gets mostly naked and then just hops right in the worst looking water you've seen in a while. Actually, because we've described all of the mushrooms and stuff around here, and I know some stuff, Pearl, give me a revelation move, actually. What are you worried is going to happen if you kind of play around in this water and muck that's clearly polluted out here in these woods?
I'm probably worried that it's too polluted to get any closer to Dad.
I'll say how it's worse than that for the revelation move. How it's worse than that is your dad is not the one who's going to respond to your actions here.
Mm-hmm.
There are other gods who are present in these woods, and you will disturb them with what you're doing. That's how it's worse than that.
Just partly because I want it'll be fun. I've been given a pet. I'm gonna get Bird out of my altar again, and I'm gonna pull him all the way out this time. Catfish are bottom feeders. They actually do really well in really, really gross water. And so I'm gonna have him with me, and I'm gonna essentially use him like a boogie board. And just hold on to him.
Catfish boogie board.
Should I be able to hold on to a definitely slimy, gross catfish? No, but, I'm slimy and gross too, so it works out.
It equals out, something like that. Go ahead and give me advantage then. Mark Bird, you've used him. So actually, you'll have advantage from that, but you would have disadvantage from being alone here while doing this. So I think that equals you out to a regular roll.
Well, then I guess I'm glad I'm doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see it.
Communion?
Yeah.
That's a 7.
7. Mixed success.
I'm going to write a verse about it.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you do it or hold steady, but there's a complication or cost. Do you want me to narrate that for you?
Tell me what it is. Yeah.
Unknown to Pearl. Known probably to Sisna because of their wide travels. Probably this would be in one of your maps somewhere, that there is a god who cares not particularly for what happens on the land, but rather what happens underneath it. There is a myconoid god known as Writhes Beneath the Loam.
Mm.
And while I doubt Sisna was aware that they had expanded quite so far as over here to Weft, they are active here all the same. And Pearl, on a mixed success, I think you would definitely have triggered their attention. And I think that we would introduce it as like sort of an active threat against Pearl here. You'd probably gain a condition related to it. We would start to have tendrils. You would start to feel them looking for and finding purchase on you and your friend. You wouldn't be in like immediate danger, but you would have woken up something that doesn't love to be woken.
Man, I'm so split here. Because on the one hand, I'm looking at the first verse of prophecy, which is, of course, narrate a flashback to a time when the parish of Tide and Flesh accepted you as one of their own. And I'm like, this is kind of the perfect moment to get our first little Pearl backstory.
I love that. But that's so good.
At the same time, what you have just described, I really want to happen. So
yeah.
I think I want to write the Whispered Psalm. I want to do it.
So because of the careful leading by your fish, who perhaps knows to be a bit more careful than you, Bird is keeping you quite high, skimming on the top of this water rather than getting down too deep. You're not really getting mired in any of the muck, not really disturbing what slumbers there. And as you're playing around here in this dark, dank water, do you want to narrate the scene now for Pearl, or do you want to save it for later?
I think it's good here.
Yeah, let's give it to us, and then we'll pick up with Lune.
The first memories Pearl has are being underwater. The next memories Pearl has are being held by members of the parish, although perhaps never by the same member twice. They told her stories of her mother. They told her stories of how she was saved by the Trawler man, and all he asked for was an offering. They never told Pearl she was that offering. But eventually Pearl did figure that out. It's strange to be so important to a group of people, and yet to feel so removed from them because you are closer to their god than they are.
And we see Pearl flicking water, kicking it behind her as she rides atop this humongous, again, I cannot stress enough, this absolutely massive catfish through this pool of stagnant water in the woods. Even though so far away, so far from the god who Pearl is an offering to, we see her kick some of the water down puddle, and then some of that water kick back Pearl's direction.
I have just a very small scene I want to add here.
Sure.
Pearl's going to find the cleanest water that she can in the bog. I understand that it's pretty damn...
It's murky here.
Oily and soupy and bad.
Gnarly.
But somewhere there's like some area that's a little bit better.
Less fetid.
And once she gets there, Bird is going to be off to the side doing his own thing, munching on some algae or something. And Pearl is just going to like reach down her throat, whole arm disappears like into the jar.
Going noodling.
And when her hand comes back out, a bunch of the fish from the pond, from the little fountain earlier, are on her fingers and just wiggling around, still alive. And she like puts them in the water and then like horks up the rest of them and smiles down at them and says, "There you go. Now you can be free."
So we pull back from the woods. Lune, as you were chasing down Pearl, knowing whatever we know of Lune so far, how long did that hold your attention before Lune got distracted?
Yeah. I think as soon as she gets to wherever like the spores have started.
Let's set the place of this a little bit. You're at the very edge of the forest, of the clutching woods. You can see the trees almost a scar themselves on this pockmarked earth, which stretches out before you for some distance. You are close enough to maybe hear the playing of Pearl, but you're not in the same place where she is quite yet. Here at the edge, looking down, smelling kind of the spores, seeing them growing, their fungal flowering here at the edge of trees, the base of shrubs, poking up in little white patches along in the dirt itself.
The mushrooms are singing to me.
About 10 feet to your right, totally like in your periphery, you hadn't even like paid attention. They have such a little presence in this world that you didn't even notice them until they speak up. "Oh, you two?" We pan to see another one of our side characters. To your right, Lune, about 20 feet away, having such little personal presence that you hadn't even noticed them, is Cletus Ford. "Oh, you hear it too?" You see they have a silver, it describes them as having like a silver afro, sort of tight, dense curls poking up out of their skull. They have an exuberant grin. They're wearing a utility vest and a belt that is bulging with pockets and pouches. They've got like a bright eyes. I'm imagining they have those kind of big glasses that make their eyes look huge, phenomenally huge. I like that. Oh, you can hear it too? Oh, what a miracle's going on out here, reborn from the churning deep. I didn't even see you there, but I heard you when you spoke. Oh, behold these little blessings. Calling them mushrooms would be almost insults.
What do you call them?
I call them the dawning of a new day. I come out here every morning. I come out here every evening to see what's sprouting up.
Yes, I hear them. They're whispering. I think she like kind of looks around. She takes like a deep breath in.
Yeah, that sounds like a revelation move.
Sure.
We know there's some shit going on here. What are you worried is going to happen if you take in a deep breath of these spores?
Probably that I'll just like, I don't know, go unconscious or something. Lose control of my faculties and I'll pass out.
I think how it's worse than that is you are going to gain perhaps a bit of an obsession with these mushrooms, with this.
So what do I need to roll here?
This will be with communion, I think. I think we're just either that or vitality, whichever you're better at.
They're the same.
All right.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll use a verse because I rolled double ones.
I'll say on a hard miss with this, what I would describe for us is you take this deep breath, and Lune, before you were hearing sort of like the soft voices of these mushrooms speaking to you, now they are like screaming at you, and the world swims, and the colors are so vibrant, but they're so especially vibrant wherever these mushrooms are. You can see them in your periphery, you can see them in the foreground. They are glowing, they are beautiful, and they demand your attention.
Beautiful. Yes, I'm gonna do a verse. Which one? The one that I want to do though. I'll do the verse of history. I'll go with that first one. And Lune, as she's kind of sitting here, maybe like even kind of twirling a little bit in this mushroom spore cloud that she is in, she's kind of transported back to when she was much younger, when she was properly a child. And she was curled up in her bed at night and kept hearing these like really scary noises outside of her window. And the shadows kind of were creeping really long against like her bedroom floor as like kind of the moonlight spilled into her window. The shadows elongated. She's like kind of hovering behind the covers, and she's got her stuffed animal with her, little Mr. Howl, and she's like hugging him tight, and she's like, go away, whatever you are, go away. Then I think she hears like distantly a little howl in the night, and the shadows seem to recede. She just hugs her Mr. Howl even tighter. Was that you, Mr. Howl? Thank you for keeping me safe.
I love that. We do a match cut from that shot of you holding Mr. Howl to the present, where you were still holding Mr. Howl. And as you take in this deep breath of spores, I think for a moment you feel like a swimming in your head, a prickling at the edge of your vision, and then you hear Mr. Howl. And as they do so, that swimming kind of dies down, that urgency, the pinpricks of color, they all melt away. I think the complication I'm going to give you here, or rather the condition I'm going to give you here, because you still do have a mixed success. You aren't going to be immediately overcome in any way by the one who rides beneath the loam. But I do think that Mr. Howl is hungry. I think Mr. Howl has exerted some effort for you here. I think Mr. Howl is hungry now.
So, that is a proper condition that I usually get when I...
Yeah, so there's the proper version you get. So I guess this one doesn't have... You know what? Let me read your move real quick so I can re-educate myself on it.
Because if it works for you, David, I
Yeah.
was actually thinking of potentially trying to do that move anyway, because I need to roll commune for that anyway.
That's convenient.
But you do gain, as part of that, you normally get to observe through their eyes for a scene.
After a scene, yeah.
You know what? I like that though. So we'll tie these together. We'll make that communion roll have been that communion roll.
Okay.
Because I like that. I think narratively it fits, which is the most important thing for this game. So I do think you should gain the condition, Mr. Howl is hungry. And he's right here.
Yeah, he's really
right here.
unfortunate.
And I do think we have to name Cletus Ford, our amateur mycologist, for that. I think only you heard Mr. Howl howl, or if Cletus did hear it, he shows no mind. I think he's not stopped talking about the beauty of these mushrooms, and he's like on his knees in the muck documenting their growth. You can see he's like several pages deep into this journal, and they're just covered in scribblings of all sorts. He's talking aloud to you the entire time he's doing it. We'll end this scene on this note. What sign does Mr. Howl show to you to indicate that they are hungry and that Cletus is what they're hungry for?
The little stuffed animal that I normally have, only I noticed it, but I think its eyes, like on the little stuffed animal, maybe flash with a little sheen of red. And that's how I know that it is hungry. And since he's the only person here, makes it pretty clear who he's hungry for. So yeah, I think I noticed that as I'm looking at Mr. Howl.
Yeah. And then do you want, because like with this move, you get to leave Mr. Howl somewhere to have a scene play out. Do you leave Mr. Howl here, or what do you do?
Yeah, so I think what I would do is like, I almost feel those like spores maybe overcome me, and I'm like, oh, well, that was very close. Thank you, Mr. Howl. I think you can keep watch over this gentleman, can't you? And I'm going to just put him on like a little rock and be like, don't worry, Mr. Howl will keep watch. I'm gonna have to go find my friend. Have fun.
Luna, you run off to go and find Pearl. I think that Cletus very effortlessly switches from directing his flurry of explanation from you to Mr. Howl instead. And yeah, he just goes into it, waxes poetic as you wander off to find Pearl.
Yeah, and so when I leave him,
yeah,
I have a mist. Do I still do the scene or whatever, or how does that work?
Yeah, read off the move for us. It's your first time using it, so just read it off.
So, at all times, you carry an idol of your personal god, Mr. Howl, in the form of a makeshift or rotten child's doll or toy. Describe that idol and add it to your altar. At the end of the scene, you may attempt to leave Mr. Howl secretly or as a gift to a side character in the conversation behind. When you do so, you roll with communion. Upon a success, you silently observe through the doll's eyes as a short scene plays out after your departure. Describe what happens. It must not answer a question outright, and you can add this as a clue. And then on a 7 to 9 or a miss, you add the condition Mr. Howl is hungry along with the name of the affected side character. Mr. Howl will return to your altar at the beginning of the next journey phase. And Mr. Howl is hungry. The condition cannot be cleared normally. Instead, you describe how you slip away from your fellow custodians during the journey phase, returning to the scene of the assignment. There we go. The named side character will disappear entirely from the game, or their body will be found in horrifying circumstances. Tell the keeper what happens. The keeper will describe the consequences for the custodians. If the side character is already dead, the target of Mr. Howl's hunger changes to a related side character, and the keeper will pick.
Yeah.
All right. This is a fun little...
Deletus Colitis.
Actually, think on the scene. I want to resolve out what's going on with Sisna. Miah, you owe me a scene there at the pump you talked about. I just want to resolve and figure out exactly what's happening next for Gary and Sisna. We cut from there, and we go back to Sisna and Gary at... I was at the Tesco. This is definitely not a branded petrol station. So like we cut back from Sisna to Sisna and Gary at the petrol station. Everybody's outside now except for Ridley, who's still inside. The two of you, Sisna and Sister Quarrel, are starting to fuel up your vehicles. This pump chugs. It's so slow. But it does appear to be pulling some kind of fuel from underneath, and it's pumping it up into your tanks. Sisna, you have a scene you owe us. You want to narrate that now?
Just walk with me here. The hissing of the pump, pushing gas into the vehicle, like kind of the like hiss and sound transitions to kind of that hissing sound that the wind makes through tall grass. And Sisna is there, and they are kneeling on top of somebody, and they are smashing their head with a giant rock. And there are tears running down their face, but as the tears cross over their cheeks and down onto their lips, their mouth is big in a very unnatural smile. As like this person is being completely bludgeoned to death with this rock, and finally this rock thumps to the ground. It's hard to tell anymore the identity or gender of this person, but we see some strings of hair attached to this rock, this very red, bloody, sticky rock, some strands of straw-like hair. And then there's a click, and Sisna is pulling the pump out of the car and putting it back into its slot. They go back around to the driver's side. They have their candy. They're going to do a couple of honks and then lay on the horn to try and maybe signal the other two that are nowhere to be seen right now that, hey, get the fuck back here.
You lay on the horn, Gary. You're standing right there when Sisna lays on the horn. What do you do? What do you say?
It's a very ugly horn, too. I don't know if it's very loud, but it's very ugly.
What kind of horn are we talking here?
Like it's...
I love that.
It's just super deflated and just like...
It sounds like a whale wheezing.
Yeah. Or like a broken bagpipe or something.
If I'm right next to it and it's gonna hurt my ears, I'm gonna turn around and be like, "Hey, calm down, you hoser! That's ringing in my ears."
Do you have a better way to get the two?
Your words?
I really can't yell that loud.
Well, you could have asked me.
Gestures for you to, all right, let's see what you can do.
Well, Sisna, me and Sister Coral are gonna head over to the processing plant. Did you wanna? I know you had mentioned you wanted to head over there. You wanna tag along?
Should we get the kids?
I mean, yeah, we should definitely, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to find them.
I will reach into the ambulance and flip a switch. Before I flip the switch, plug your ears.
Oh, hey, I appreciate the warning.
I'm going to flip a switch, and I'm imagining this type of siren, like the eerie, creepy kind that you see when you see pictures of like a radiation like area, just like creepy and just sickening. Yeah.
More of like a droning than a...
Yeah. So then I'll flip that for a little bit, turn it off. Why don't I find them and meet back up with your friend?
I think that'll work just fine. Yeah, you can find them, and you know where I'm going, so you can connect the paths. And I'm good with Sister Coral. She's an old pal, so I'm gonna walk over to Sister Coral and see if she's ready to go.
Oh, we doubling up?
Oh, you know what? Why not? Let's head on down to the plant.
I want to give you this like little herb bundle that has like a feather attached in it.
Herb bundle?
So it's like a feather and a couple of like dried flowers and sticks and things.
Okay, what's this?
So we could maybe find you later in case.
Find me? How'd you do that?
Just with faith.
You know what? I'll take your word for it. Anything I should know about it? Should I leave everything in it? Should I take something out? Should I...
Don't inhale?
Don't inhale? Don't give her a sniff?
I was thinking, I was like, should he not eat it? But I think that would be fine. But just keep it in a pocket on your body.
Oh, I got lots of those. One pocket coming up.
You tuck it away. Sister Coral is already mounted. She's got just like the raddest old, like half leather helmet. It's got like goggles that she's slapped down over her eyes. One of them is like frosted nearly completely over, so she's got like limited vision. It's like this is a kickstart. She's like slamming her foot down to get the engine to go. Finally she does, and it sputters to the saddest sort of life. And she leans it over and is like, hop on, hoser.
Shit, right off the bat, call me a hoser. Damn. Oh, yeah. You know what? This thing, it's definitely seen better days, but we're not going too far, I suppose.
Oh, there's enough in the tank to get down to the plant and back.
Alrighty. Let's get going.
You hop on. She revs the engine. It sounds like it can hit, high enough RPMs to get you somewhere. She shifts it into gear and it begins to pull out. Sisna, you're in the ambulance and you're gonna go looking for the others, or are you gonna go on foot?
I see wet footprints.
Yeah. I mean, they're starting to dry for sure while you've been out here, but
I'm going to leave the ambulance where it is and then just walk off following the footprints.
Luna, you've gone off into the woods to find Pearl. You're following her voice now. You can hear her cheering and whooping as Bird is dragging her across in the water, splashing about. Meanwhile, Mr. Howl has business of his own, having been left here. And Luna, is it worded that you see through his eyes, or like we just get the scene? What's the vibe?
Yeah, you observe through the doll's eyes as the short scene plays out after your departure. Cletus, this mycologist, he is in the rooms, and he is going to, and he's kind of exploring some of the mushrooms that have like sprouted over and further into the woods, and he's kind of following like the trail, maybe trying to see like how far this like mycelium network spreads, kind of type thing. And he is wandering into the woods, and the doll's eyes seem to be following him as he is moving through the woods. So I think the thing that is odd is as he's going further into the woods, he has found the remains of a carcass of an animal that is mostly just bones at this point. And arrayed around the predator that has been fallen, almost like a fairy circle, is the circle of mushrooms around this creature that has been killed. As the mycologist kind of thinks that it strikes him as quite odd, not normal behavior for this mushroom. And as he maybe starts to kind of back away and turns around, we see a moment where as he's like looking directly almost into camera, and he stumbles back into the carcass as something leaps at him and the camera goes red.
This has been The Divinity Plague, featuring
Miah as Sisna,
Drew as Gary,
Emma as Pearl,
Lauren as Lune,
and David. This god still hungers for more.
The Divinity Plague is a production of the Monsters Playbook. This episode was produced and edited by Miah and Lauren. All music and sound effects were provided by Epidemic Sound and Embato. If you like this episode, please tell a friend. We love friends. You can find the Monsters Playbook on the social media network that resonates with you. We post on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and Blue Sky, and we hang out on Discord, and sometimes Twitch. If you just can't get enough of the Monsters Playbook, you can also support us on Patreon, where you'll find blooper reels, exclusive merch, and bonus content. We'll see you next episode, where, as always, we'll have some good news and some bad news. Thanks for listening.
I'm Miah, and I play Sissa. Fuck.
name's Sisyphus. Is that like a play on Sisyphus?
Okay.
Place is fuck.
Fuck.
Words are hard.
Oh no.